Kevin from XB3 here. I just wanted to make a quick little video today because I happened to get my hands on a little something that I figured you guys might want to see. It was a little bit of a pain in the ass getting it, but I managed to get a Super Nintendo Classic Edition today. Definitely a lot easier to get than the NES Classic, but it was still quite a bit of waiting, and yeah, wasn't exactly a fun experience. I can go into that later, but probably wait to talk with that with D-Rod about it. So I just wanted to make a quick little unboxing video to show you guys what you can expect to find inside if you manage to get your hands on one of these. Now, just as an aside, like I said, it wasn't a very fun experience. Yes, hi cat. It wasn't a very fun experience to get it, but Nintendo has indicated that they are going to make this easier to get than the NES Classic Edition, so do not get this thing in the aftermarket, no matter how tempting it may seem. If it's like, $20, $30 more, don't do it. There were a lot of scalpers at the line that I was waiting in, and they were very clear on trying to make a profit on this thing. So I just think that's a very disgusting habit overall. Don't support it. Just wait and see if you can find one of these things at retail. Nintendo's definitely going to be trying to make more of these things, so just do that. Don't give scalpers money. They fucking suck. Alright, so enough of that. Let's go ahead and crack this guy open here and see what we got waiting inside. As you can see, it's got all the games listed that come with it on the back. It's a pretty nice box, nice and thick cardboard. And there's actually no tape on here, so I don't need a knife. That's interesting. Was not expecting that. So we just got a little pull tab open right here. If I can open it. And then it looks like it's going to be similar to the NES Classic, if any of you guys have that. Everything's just going to be inside of a little cardboard tray there. Don't mind the noise in the background. One of my cats is taken to the bag that this stuff came in. So it looks like you get a manual of some sort that comes with the system here. I'll take a look at that later. But it looks like it goes into detail about each game that comes in the system. That's kind of cool. And then you got everything all nice and packed up inside a little cellophane wrapping here. Here you got the little baby system. Put that aside for now. As a plus, Nintendo gave you 2 controllers this time. That's pretty nice of them, because the NES Classic only came with 1, and it was impossible to find a second matching controller at retail after the thing got discontinued almost right away, so that was a bit of a pain in the ass. So that's definitely a plus. Set those aside here real quick. We'll check those out in a sec. And then inside here we got, looks like, oh cool. So it looks like Nintendo didn't learn from their mistake. With the NES Classic, this is the same kind of power adapter. It's a USB Type-C, kind of a new style USB charger that some companies like to use. And that was kind of a bit of a downfall for the NES Classic, at least for Nintendo's side, because this cable was used for the power adapter. And with that, you could hook up the NES Classic to your computer, and that's what hackers use to basically reverse engineer the thing and hack into it. So that's how you could enable loading more ROMs. So it looks like that's a bit of the same case here, so that should by all indications mean that pretty soon we'll expect to see the SNES Classic Edition hack too. So that's pretty fucking awesome. So we don't need those, set those aside. And of course you got your HDMI cable since the thing outputs in HD. So yeah, cool. Now, let's see what everything all wrapped up here is. We'll probably do some size comparisons too. So here's the main unit, all nice and wrapped up. So yeah, pretty much just a miniature, literally an SNES. Looks like they even got the video port in the kind of the same spot. As you can see, there's the power adapter right there, so that'll be what hackers use to get into there more than likely. And then the the controller connections on front, as you can see, it looks like there's controller ports right there, but that's not the controller connections that they use. So instead, you got there. So yeah, oh I see, it just pulls out and then you can pull it down. Looks like it's on kind of a little bit of a rubbery piece there. And then you just got like the Wiimote style connectors right there. That's where you plug your controllers into. Looks a little silly, but I guess they couldn't make these work for current connections, so makes sense I guess. And then you got power switch clicks on and off. Reset button actually works. So yeah, pretty much just like the old system minus these controller ports. Definitely a nice touch. And then as for one of the controllers here, If I can get this guy open. Bear with me here, this is all brand new in packaging still, so a little bit of crinkling. So there's one of the controllers, and it's 1-for-1 an SNES controller. It feels a little bit more rubbery, I guess. Not really rubbery, it feels kind of like matte finish compared to an actual SNES controller. The D-pad's nice and stiff, buttons are nice and clicky, and then it looks like they kind of learned their lesson with the NES Classic as well, and it looks like the controller cable's a bit longer. So that's a nice touch too. Just start doing comparisons here, might as well. Like here's an actual NES Classic controller right here. So as you can see, that's all you get. About maybe 2 feet worth of cable. So this looks maybe about like 4? Not a whole lot, but I mean they make extensions, so there should be plenty available for you there too. And then just for one last comparison, we got the NES Classic next to the SNES Classic, and they're about the same size. Looks like the SNES Classic is a bit longer just because of the whole form factor of the system, but yeah, they mimic the actual things pretty clearly aside from their size. So yeah, gonna boot this thing up here in a little bit, see what it feels like, how some of the games are. In case you haven't heard, you know, Star Fox 2 is kind of the piece de resistance of the whole system, and if you want to unlock that, you need to play Star Fox and beat level 1 to unlock it. So might give that a try, give some Star Fox 2 a shot, because I hear the ROM on there is different than the ROM that was leaked quite a while back and what people have been using to make reproductions. So who knows, maybe we'll see some new reproductions coming out with a more complete ROM. So yeah, if you manage to get your hands on one of these, let us know. Let us know what you think. If you have any crazy scalper stories about the NES Classic or the SNES Classic, yeah, we'd love to hear it. Just let us know. Hope you guys like this video. See you guys next time. Bye.